Hello, everyone. I would like to greet all of you, my fellow Ramonians, and thank you for the invitation to our counselor, of course, Counselor Willie Gamis, for inviting me for this relevant conversation and sharing about how to land a job, specifically how to ace an interview. So allow me to share from my end my sharing about the interview tips and tricks. So sa pagkakataon pong ito, ako po ay naatasan ni Sir Willie na magbahagi ng aking kaalaman at karanasan tungkol siyempre sa pakikipanayam at yung pagsagot siyempre sa ating mga job interview. At siyempre nandito po yung tips na kinakailangan po natin at tricks or mga strategiya upang nang sa ganun para hindi po tayo kabahan, para makasagot po tayo ng maayos at ng tama, para nang sa ganun, yung trabahong inaasam natin ay mapapasa atin. So I'm Virgo Clemente Lopez and I'm a friend of Sir Willie and I'm so proud for this engagement na talaga namang inorganisa niya para po sa inyo sa mga kabataan, sa mga katatapos lamang po sa pag-aaral at pati na rin po yung ating mga kapwa po na naghahanap ng trabaho amid the ongoing health crisis. So allow me to share with you what I have prepared today. So yung katotohanan muna tungkol siyempre sa interview. Ano ba ang ating mga alam tungkol dito? Una sa lahat, it's really nerve-wracking. Sino po ba ang hindi talaga kakabahan? Ako nga po ngayon ay siyempre kinakabahan din dahil siyempre bago ang aking audience at siyempre din hindi naman ganun kadalas o araw-araw tayong nagsasalita sa harap ng mga tao. Siyempre nandyan yung first-hand experience natin at talagang nakatatakot lalo na kung hindi tayo sanay kasi ngayon ang interview ay siyempre online na pero mas nakatatakot pa rin kapag ito ay face-to-face dahil kitang-kita mo yung emosyon, siyempre dama mo yung pressure and other feelings na pwede mong maramdaman kapag ikaw ay nasa harapan ng HR, hindi ba? Siyempre ito din ay nagkakaroon ka ng anxiety for you do not know whether yung mga sagot mo ay tama o mali. Ito siyempre ay direct quotations mula siyempre sa mga napagdaanan yung mga interview. At siyempre din you feel uncomfortable dahil sa konteksto po ng pandemya na hindi po kayo pwede makapunta doon on-site for the interview kapag hindi maganda po ang inyong internet connectivity. Siyempre yung gadget nyo po hindi ganun kagandahan. Siyempre yung environment, yung background and so on. Buti nga po nakikita nyo sa aking background ngayon. O di ba, gwapong-gwapo si um, Sir Willie dito, di ba? Itong poster na ito na pwede mong gawing background. So syempre, tip na lang din na as early as now na kailangan malinis yung background at syempre dapat nagko-complement sa kulay ng iyong magiging damit sa araw ng interview. Okay? At ano yung kailangan mong gawin para mas maging maayos yung pagsagot mo syempre sa mga katanungan ng HR or yung panel mo? Una sa lahat, preparation is needed. Parang kumbaga ba sa digmaan, hindi ba? Wala naman sigurong sundalo o wala namang pulis na lulusob or talagang gagawin yung trabaho. Pati na rin yung mga guro, di ba, na hindi handa sa kanilang mga gagawin. So be ready all the time. And when I say be ready, kailangan alam mo yung background ng pinapasukan mong trabaho. Alam mo dapat yung kanilang vision, mission, ano ba yung serbisyong kanilang inaalay or binibigay sa kanilang mga customer. Expect the unexpected dahil kahit na sabihin natin na may mga personal na mga tanong o tungkol sa sarili mo, tungkol sa iyong karanasan, minsan may mga interviewer talaga na out of this world ang mga tanong. For example, how do you explain the rainbow to a blind child, di ba? So dito, kailangan mo maging creative, dito mo malalaman ng iyong mga panel kung gaano ka kahusay at kakritikal sa pagsagot sa mga ganitong katanungan. Opportunity to be ready for the future kasi syempre nakasalalay dito yung magiging trabaho mo, hindi ba? Yung pagkuha ng trabaho na makapagbibigay sa iyo ng sahod at ng magandang buhay. So kailangan mo talagang pagbutihan. It can either make or break you, ika nga. Tapos syempre, ano yung kailangan mo pang gawin o mag-invest sa paghahanda para sa interview? Una sa lahat, kailangan mong hasain ang iyong pananalita. As I'm talking right now, I'm speaking in Filipino, pero hindi ibig sabihin na hindi ako nagsasalita ng English ay hindi ako magaling. Or in vice versa, hindi ibig sabihin na magaling ka mag-English ay ikaw lang yung magaling, siyempre. So, if it is appropriate for you to speak the language or your native language, pati na rin yung tinatawag nating vernacular, at kung hindi naman talaga required na mag-Ingles, bakit ka mag-English rather than making yourself na nakatatawa dahil hindi mo mabigkas yung mga ibang mga salita, halimbawa sa English, might as well be comfortable doon sa pagsasalita ng Tagalog o ng Filipino. Pero kung siyempre ang yung ina-applyan naman ay ESL or English as a second language, then you really have to prepare. You really have to speak the language both with accuracy and fluency. But other than that, kung ito naman talaga ay okay kang magsalita ng Filipino, so feel comfortable in doing so. At syempre yung educational experience mo, kailangan dito ng honesty. Kasi ang mga HR ngayon o yung mga nag-hire ay talagang gusto nila na ma-express mo yung sarili mo. So feel comfortable, dapat maging masaya ka at syempre ipakita mo yung totoong ikaw dahil syempre ang gusto rin naman ng mga employer ay talagang yung i-hire nila, yung mapagkakatiwalaan nila, hindi ba? Be confident but not arrogant and claim it na kaya mo itong makamit o makuha yung job na yon. Kasi the mindset sets it all, right? And then on-point tips and tricks in interviews. Ito yung kabuuan ng tinatawag nating mga dapat mong tandaan. Una, the readiness matters. Kasi talagang pag hindi ka ready, halimbawa sino ba naman talaga yung, 'di ba, yung biglaan tapos andun na. So kailangan mong paghandaan, kailangan mong magbasa. Sabi ko nga kanina yung vision, mission, objective ng kumpanyang papasukan mo upang nang sa ganun ma-align mo yung iyong sarili doon sa kanilang hinahanap. Kasi if it is somehow for public service, for example, or nasa produkto ka sa production, for example, siyempre kailangan mo ng competency para efficient ka at effective ka. Kung ito naman ay pagtuturo, siyempre kailangan mong malaman ano ba yung ipinopromote o value ng kumpanyang pinapasukan mo para may masabi ka at makarelate din siyempre yung iyong mga tagapakinig o yung panel member. Pangalawa, the confidence. Of course, confidence is the key. So, time and time again, you might say before or few seconds before the interview, hindi ko kaya, mag-back out na lang ako. So these kinds of things, actually they're normal kasi at least they set your focus. Pero wag naman syempre yung masyado kang anxious, no? At wag din masyadong confident. Yung kalma lang, yung sakto lang ba na kung ikaw ay nanginginig, then calm yourself and try to breathe in and breathe out. Yung ganyan, di ba? Yung kailangan mong huminga ng malalim. Tapos syempre, paniwala mo yung sarili mo na kaya mo. And then the formality. Kaya sabihin natin na syempre online na naka-short ka lang, I'm sure. 'Di ba kapag ikaw ay nasa klase, online class o may ginagawa ka, ako mismo guilty of charge na kahit naka-formal ako sa taas, naka-short lang ako sa baba. But then you have to make it sure na presentable ka because yung tinatawag nating power dress or hindi mo naman kailangang lalo na sa mga babae wag ding masyadong mag-makeup dahil syempre mas gusto nila ng natural. So, smart casual will do basta malinis kang tignan at kagalang-galang kang tignan at pwede kang mapagkatiwalaan, more likely, you can make it. Alright? And syempre yung authenticity na palagi ko yung sinasabi na kailangan maging totoo ka. If you commit a mistake, then say sorry. You don't have to be so perfect. At hindi mo kailangan mag-English ng perfect, lalong-lalo kung hindi naman to ESL, no, na pinapasukan mo. Basta ipakita mo lang kung sino ka talaga. Alright? And some of the aspects of evaluation na tinitignan sa application or sa interview, nandyan syempre yung educational background mo. Kung ikaw naman ay nakatapos ng 4-year course at ang pinapasukan mo talaga ay required sa'yo para makatapos ng bachelor's degree, then you have to highlight that one. Lalong-lalo na din syempre kung ikaw ay mayroong lisensya, hindi ba? O yung mga qualification na tinatawag, yung pagiging karapat-dapat sa trabaho, then you have to highlight those. At syempre kapag meron kang prior work experience, you have also to highlight, take note, yung mga related doon sa magiging trabaho mo. So kung ako halimbawa ay pumasok bilang teacher at meron akong online teaching job in the past, then I should be able to say that in the interview when I am being asked. Alright? But other than that, kung hindi naman related, siguro yung competency na pwede mong natutunan sa trabahong yon na pwede mong magamit at makontribute sa papasukan mong trabaho. Pangatlo, syempre technical qualifications or experience, yung mga may TESDA certificate, ayan, yung mga special training, short courses, you have to be able to say them when you are being asked to do so. Tapos yung verbal communication, dapat accurate, no? Kapag Tagalog, at least yung basics nito. At kapag English naman, at least kaya mong magsalita ng maayos at naiintindihan. The key here is not for you to be flamboyant na parang you use, for example, highfalutin words na hindi naman naiintindihan or ikaw mismo hindi mo naiintindihan yung sarili mo. So ang mahalaga dito, dapat naiintindihan mo yung sinasabi mo at yung mensaheng yon ay nakakarating doon sa nagtatanong. Okay, hindi mahalaga na kailangan malalim ang salita, kailangan lamang naiintindihan ka. At dapat makita yung enthusiasm mo kasi ang dami ng negatibo sa mundo. So dapat you smile accordingly at yung emosyon na kinakailangan ipakita, huwag yung kinakabahan, yung natural lang. Okay? Be expressive. Kung kailangan mong tumawa dahil nakakatawa naman talaga, for example, yung exchange o yung tanong o yung ibang karanasan mong binabahagi, then project that kind of emotion. Siyempre, yung knowledge of the company, nabanggit ko na kanina, na siyempre dapat yung vision, mission, values, yung pinapangalagaan at pinapaniwalaan ng kumpanya. If you're going to mention that, you have really the edge over the other applicants. So, alamin kung ano ba yung kumpanyang pinapasukan mo. Siyempre, para na rin heads up sa'yo kung gusto mo rin ba talagang magtrabaho sa pinapasukan mong institusyon. Team building or interpersonal skills, you must be able to highlight kung gaano ka kagaling makisama kasi interpersonal skills, collaborative skills are essential in the workplace even before and more than now. So, kailangan mong masabi dyan na you are willing to be working with others kasi no man is an island. And here, two heads are better than no heads at all. Ibig sabihin, mas marami tayong nagagawa kapag nakikipagtulungan tayo sa iba. So you should be able also to mention that. Initiative. Siyempre yung volunteerism kapag meron ka mga activities, lalo na ngayong pandemya, let's say you volunteered for the community pantry or doon sa mga volunteer work doon sa community. These are all necessary background na ma-appreciate ng employer lalo na kapag sa service sector. Time management. So, kailangan masabi mo rin na kung ikaw ba ay multitasker at kung multitasker ka man, paano mo na pagsasabay or how do you do that or how do you accomplish things one at a time. Kasi dito, malalaman kung gaano ka-dynamic, hindi ba? And then the customer service. Kapag ito nga talaga naman ay may kinalaman sa tao, then you must be able to project and show your care and your commitment in dealing with different types of people. Siyempre, kapag yan ay customer service, may tatanungin, how are you going to handle yung mga mareklamo, mga for example, mga customer. And then your skills in really solving certain problems or dilemma, right? And finally, your overall impression from the moment you open your mouth or from the moment na talagang nagsimula kang umupo doon or hinarap sila, it matters. Okay? No dapat sustain. Now, some of the question na pwedeng tanongin sa'yo is tell something about yourself. So you may also practice right now or type in the chat box how are you going to say that. Simply, the simpler the better. You should just say your name, your age, for example, and then where you come from, and then what you finished, for example. That's it. So for example, I'm Virgo Clemente Lopez. I'm 30 years old. I'm from Ramon Isabela, and I finished nursing, and I also have 18 units of professional education. As simple as that, okay? But then kung meron pang gustong tanungin like about your characteristic, then you may say 2 or 3 adjectives that would best describe you. For example, you may say, I'm a team player, I collaborate usually with others, and I have these interpersonal skills that I really love working with people. You may say that. All right? And then, pwede pang matanong sa'yo, what are your strengths and weaknesses? How do you contribute your strength to the company and how would you overcome your weakness? Siyempre, kapag meron kang kahinaan, meron ka rin kalakasan. So dapat ma-sustain or ma-reinforce mo yung kalakasan na yun to contribute to the company kasi yun naman ang gusto sa'yo ng employer. At syempre yung mga kahinaan mo, let's say for example, you are easily, let's say, sometimes you are stressed out or for example, minsan hindi mo makontrol din yung emotion mo. And all of these, those could be weaknesses, right? Na kailangan mong aminin din kung kinakailangan pero you make it sure that you can control and you can overcome them and then transform them to strengths. So you should really understand and you should know yourself. Kasi kung hindi mo naintindihan mo yung sarili mo, hindi mo talaga masasagot ang tanong na ito. Why apply for the job in our institution? So, simply, it's so subjective. You want a job where you could grow probably, and then you should say, I would like to grow with the company because I'm ready to serve. Yung mga ganitong kasagutan. Okay? Or for example, kung ikaw naman ay nag-apply for teaching job, then you may say, this is my passion. This is my purpose. Ayan, yung mga life-giving purpose. Kasi gusto mo at sa tingin mo, ito yung talagang nakalaan na trabaho para sa'yo. And then what are the 3 work-related factors that would attract you to the job? Huwag sasabihin salary agad. It could be the environment. It could be the people you work with. It could be the growth and development that you would get from the company or from the institution, right? And then how do you see yourself 3 to 5 years from now? Okay, marami nagkakamali dito. Kasi lalo na kung ikaw ay hindi naman talaga magtatagal or you don't intend to stay in the company for long, ang gusto ng employer, makita yung commitment mo. So you may say, I'm committing to stay with the company for so long or for long. Hindi ba? So you would like to grow with the company. Kasi pag ang sagot mo dyan, after 3 to 5 years, I'll go to another country and then I will work there or I will pursue another job and so on and so forth. Parang wala na yung kumpanyang pinapasukan mo o ina-applyan mo doon. So you make it sure na pag sinagot mo ang tanong na to, dapat kasama yung kumpanya. Dapat andun ka pa rin. You may say that I can see myself as one of the middle managers. Or hindi naman masamang maging ambisyoso, hindi ba? Or I am already one of the top managers or top members of the top management, for example. So, kailangan dito makita yung growth, personal growth and development with the company or with the institution. And then sometimes may mga psychometrician or psychologists that would ask you, what do you see? Is the glass half empty or is the glass half full? Indirectly, wala naman talagang masama or maling sagot dito, pero more likely kung ito man ay tatanungin, dapat ang sasagot mo ay it is half full. So it's leading towards the affirmative, positive, and optimistic side rather than half empty. So dito makikita yung personality mo na more likely you are positive. You have positive outlook in life. At kapag hindi naman ito pinapa-explain sa'yo, you don't need to expound. But if you want to expound, you may say that I always see the beauty, for example, or let's say the positive side of everything. So I must say that this glass is half full. So why focus on the negative if there are opportunities for us to explore and for us to be better each day? Something like that. And then why should we hire you? Hindi ba? Palaging tinatanong yan. And then you may say that you have the qualifications, right? You have the experience. Kung wala naman, I want to grow with the company. I would like to learn more. I would like to contribute to the company, right? Pero paano naman pag ang tanong ay, why should we not hire you? It might be tricky sometimes, right? Pero syempre, ang pagsagot ng ilang mga batikan na sa mga interview ay, if you do not want someone who is competent, who is committed, who is dedicated, who's willing to do and to contribute to the company, then I think I'm not the person you're looking for. But if you are looking for the person I just mentioned, then I am one of the most qualified, or I am qualified to be hired in your company. So, yan lamang, no? At saka syempre, at the end of the interview, merong mga magsasabi sa'yo or yung panel would ask you, do you have any questions for us? Actually, it's not bad to ask. You may ask, so may I ask, kadalasan yung salary yung tinatanong, no? So probably you can simply say, when can I start? With the confidence, right? So definitely wala naman talagang maling sagot sa ganitong tanong. Other than that, kung wala ka naman talagang matatanong, you say, I'm good. Thank you for the opportunity given to me to be able to be interviewed. Or simply sa Tagalog, maraming salamat po sa pagkakataon. Wala naman po akong katanungan sa ngayon. Okay, so yan lamang ang mga halimbawa ng mga tanong na pwedeng matanong sa'yo. Kung hindi naman, kahawig ng mga tanong na yan. So final tips, show them your vigor, kung gaano ka ka-dynamic, alright? Be intellectual. Pag sabi intellectual, hindi ka kailangan PhD graduate, MAED. Pero yung tinasabi natin na street smart or yung alam mo dapat yung sinasabi mo. And intelligent, syempre yung rational part, yung pag-project ng nararapat na emosyon. Like now, I'm smiling. Once in a while, I turn to become formal when needed. Okay? And present rather your real true self. The employers would appreciate that rather than putting your mask, na kahit hindi naman ikaw, you're projecting to be someone else. Paano kapag na-hire ka, kasi hindi naman pala ikaw yon, so mag-adjust ka pa. So just be yourself, okay? Your truest self. And achieve the goal of getting the job. Naniniwala ako na kung ito'y para sa'yo, para sa'yo. At kung hindi man, marami pa rin namang ibang trabaho na naghihintay para sa'yo. So, finally, optimism matters. Everything is a learning experience. If you get hired through the interview, then learn more. If you didn't, then it was still a learning or teachable moment for you to do better next time. So to summarize that one, vigor, intellectual, real self, goal-oriented ka dapat, and optimism makes the difference. And that's Virgo, which is my name, just to put a personal touch in my final tips. So on that note, for communication and collaboration or consultation, if I still have time, because right now this is pre-recorded, but if you have questions, feel free to contact me in this information presented on the screen right now. I can be contacted if you need, for example, collaboration related to nursing, related to English, related to quality improvement and training in your area, in your barangay, for example. I am very willing to be with you. And then for journal, for example, publication, for those who are listening and watching right now, we can help you out and we can collaborate in coming up with articles worthy to be read and to be disseminated to others. And finally, for education purposes, right now I am connected with Pan Pacific University, so we might also contact each other. So this has been Virgo Clemente Lopez sharing with you a quick guide, tips and tricks on how to ace an interview for you to land a job. And nagpapasalamat ako siyempre sa aking mga kaibigan, kay Dean Matt, kay Dr. Matt, at siyempre sa aming kaibigan na nagtatahak ngayon ng landas through public service. Suportahan po natin siya, Sir Willie Gamis, para po sa counselor sa ating bayan. Isa sa mga batang tumatakbo po para sa pagbabago at para mapagsilbihan tayong lahat. It is high time for us to have transformative young leaders like him. God bless everyone.